Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video we will go over a few things to do or to get before starting your leveling journey in Dragonflight, and I will also be talking about the times that I will be streaming my Dragonflight leveling experience. So let's get right into it. First off, there's a few things that you can get from the auction house or craft or even the guild Fender to make leveling a little bit easier. There are a few items that are actually really nice, and I would recommend everyone to get it. The first thing is just get some flasks, either Flask of Power or the flask that gives you stamina, whatever you want. I prefer the Flask of Power just to make it a little bit easier to kill things. They last 1 hour. I only bought 10 because I do believe that I will be pretty fast, a lot faster than needing 10 flasks, but just to be sure I got 10. Then I'm not sure if it will keep working, but the augment runes, there is a eternal augment rune from the enlightened reputation. If you have it exalted, you will be able to purchase the eternal augment rune, so once you use it, it's not gone. You get the buff for an hour together with a flask, which is 69 primary stat. Then the augment rune is another 18, so that's 87 extra primary stat, which is pretty good. The next thing to get is fried bonefish. There are a lot of good cooking things you can make or buy from the auction house, but I think this one is the best, and the reason for it is it's not giving you a secondary stat, but it will give you a speed boost for a short amount of time after killing an enemy. So this makes it really easy and really fast if you're killing some enemies, and then after one, hop onto the next, move on to the next, move on to the next, and so on. You will keep getting speed boosts to make your movement between the enemies you need to kill for a quest or certain things. It will make it a lot easier and make it a lot faster. You can combine these with other things. You could also buy some gems and socket. I do not have them. I still have my crit and haste sockets, but you could put in some speed gems to increase your speed even more. And the speed buff from the fried bonefish is a percentage, so it will also increase with the stats you have on your sockets. Then the next thing you want to get is the goblin glider kits. I can show you what they do in a second. These just make you get no fall damage, and it reduces your falling speed. So if you jump off at a high speed, you will maintain some speed and then slowly glide down. In some situations, this is pretty nice and really fast. One example is when you take the Zeppelin from Orgrimmar into Dragonflight or into the Dragon Isles. The Zeppelin will arrive in this part, but from about 1,000 yards out, right here, you can jump off and use the glider, and you'll be a bit faster because it will go like straight up here and then turn into the Zeppelin area. When you jump off, you can just go in a straight line to it, and you can combine the goblin gliders with Gunshoes. And Gunshoes will attach guns to your feet, propelling you forward. They do have a 3-minute cooldown, and the gliders have a 3-minute cooldown as well, so you can pair them up pretty nice. You could macro them into one, so you use Gunshoes and then use a goblin glider after if you want, but it's not always that you want to use both at the same time. So let's get Gunshoes. So you can see I move a lot faster. If I go into Ghost Wolf, it still projects me forward pretty fast. And if you jump off, you can then just use your glider and maintain your speed as long as the Gunshoes work. As you can see, they have a it's about 20 seconds, I think. I didn't look at how much it was exactly, but at least it's a short amount of time to get a speed boost and to propel yourself forward. And in that time you can also use the Goblin Glider kit to slowly fall down and get really far ahead from the Zeppelin for one thing. So that's pretty nice to get you a head start in there. Then also the Guild Fender. The Guild Fender is selling a few nice things. You can get the, let's see where they are. These, the Wrap of Unity, Shroud of Cooperation, and Cloak of Coordination. These all have a on-use effect of teleporting you back to, in my case, Orgrimmar if you are Horde. If you're Alliance, it's back to Stormwind. And these are particularly nice because you can enable War Mode and get a little bit more experience in. And once you've done that, and you figure out like, hey, I'm getting ganked, like if you're playing solo and there's a group of the other faction leveling as well, killing you all the time, you can just use this, get back, turn it off. You can turn off War Mode in any rested area, but if you want to turn it back on, you will need to be in Orgrimmar or Stormwind. So for that case, these are really nice. Like during the day and everybody's at work and it's pretty chill in game, there's not a lot of the opposite faction. Just get back to the main city, turn it on, and get some extra experience in for leveling. The other thing is the banners. You have a banner of cooperation and battle standard of coordination. Now we do not have the blue one as a guild, so I only bought these two. These basically just place down a guild battle standard and increase the experience, honor, and rep gain from killing monsters for all guild members within 100 yards. Now the green one gives you a 5% increase. The blue one is 10% and the epic one is 15%, and they do have a 10-minute cooldown. There are some weak auras to track the cooldowns of these, and I believe there is also a weak aura that will show you the best possible one to use. And again, you can put these on your bars, track the cooldown, and just use them whenever you do big pulls, so you get a bit more experience in, which is pretty nice. We'll also make it a little bit faster to level. Now you can also get some potions. I did not bother to get a lot of them. I've been playing on the beta, and over there I didn't have anything. I copied my character when I had less item level than I have now, and when I didn't knew how to play around with the talents, so I had a shitty talent setup. My talents are way better now, so I expect things to be a little bit easier than it was right there. And also with the Flasks to fried bonefish and everything, it will be a lot faster. There's one more thing, and I haven't been able to get it. I did try to get it, but that is, let me get this right here. That is the Falling Flame. And Falling Flame is an item you can get from a rare mob. It has 50 charges and it will launch you into the air as a blazing meteor. It has a 1-hour cooldown, but it can project you pretty far, and as long as you don't hit the ground, you will not take any fall damage from it, by the way. As long as you don't hit the ground with it, you will maintain the speed. So what you can do with it, which is pretty nice to have, is just launch yourself up, and at the highest point use a Goblin Glider, and then you can just control where you're going. With the Falling Flame you only will go in a straight line, but with the Goblin Glider, if you use that as well, you can just move around and go exactly where you want to go. So that's it for the items you can get. If you have any questions about the items, drop them down in the comments below and I will try to answer them as good as I can. And the other thing is sort out your talents for leveling. Right now I have a talent set up that is for, this is my Mythic Plus Fire Nova build for Chemis, but there are, I believe, a lot of, I think every spec or every class has some movement things in there. Like for me, I could take Feral Lunge to just leap into an enemy, which will save me a little bit of running up to them. But also I have Thunderous Paws, giving my Ghost Wolf an additional 25% movement speed for 3 seconds. And it all seems like little things, but if you use your Ghost Wolf for 10 seconds, it's 30% of the time that you have increased movement speed. Now it does have an internal cooldown, but still it is a small increase in your movement speed, and since leveling will take a few hours, this will eventually be a pretty big increase in the speed you have. And between mobs, sometimes it's a bit too far to mount up and then get to the mob and then get off your mount and fight it and then again mount up. Sometimes it's just faster to have the fried bonefish, the speed sockets, and the speed from your talent tree that gives you speed in either an ability with increased speed, or something that you use to gain a speed buff. There's a lot of stuff happening. Also, I have the ability to get a reduced cooldown of Spirit Walk or Gust of Wind. So I will be fiddling around with my talents to get the right talent set up to get all the movement speed things in as well. And yeah, that's basically it. I also wanted to talk about my main and my alt, but I think it's pretty clear what I will be maining. It will of course be Enhancement Shemmy. I might play a little bit of Resto if I want to, if I feel like it, but I probably won't play Elemental. I'm not really the caster type of guy. And for my alt, I actually haven't decided yet. I really like Warrior, all specs of them, and I also kind of like Blood DK and Unholy DK, so I will have to come back to that on a later date. But for now I will be playing my Shemmy for the most part, and I will probably level up my Warrior and my DK, and in the end I will also level up my Druid, my Monk, probably my Hunter as well. And for the last thing, streaming, you can get the Fell Drake mount watching my stream. You need to watch a few hours on stream, and you can just watch an hour, then leave and watch an hour the next day. It will all add up, and in the end you will get your Fell Drake mount. Now, since Dragonflight is releasing on Tuesday, I will be working Tuesday, so I will be starting my stream at 7 in the evening, or 19 hours in the evening. That is Central European time. That is my realm time as well. So yeah, I will be probably streaming for 4 hours, and I hope to get to level, I think 64, 65 in that time. And I hope to see you all there. I will be streaming Wednesday all day, probably from 9 in the morning, and Thursday as well, also from 9 in the morning, probably all days up to 11. I will take a few breaks in between, of course. But yeah, that's it. If you have any questions about the items I mentioned, about the sorting out of talents and things you need to pick up to make leveling a bit easier, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try to help you as best as I can. And I will hopefully see you all on my stream.